Hey, where are you guys? Look at, we got a special guest today, Mr. Dave Mojo Edery.
What's up? How you doing, Honolulu? How's everyone doing?
A couple things. First of all, happy goddamn birthday.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
27?
21 again.
And how you doing, man?
Good.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been 2 years since back in Honolulu.
Tell everybody what you've been doing.
Out on the East Coast, me and my girl Casey Potets, we're out in Casey. We're out in East Coast, Stamford, Connecticut, hour north of New York City. That's amazing. We're teaching at School of Rock and doing a lot of cool stuff. Playing and writing music and just living it up. Doing a lot of art, fancy woodwork, just for myself and other people, just like custom pieces. Yeah, it's really fun doing a lot of art too.
And since you're in town, I know you're going to do a couple of gigs.
Yep, two big gigs. This Thursday, the 20th, at Hawaiian Brian's, and it's going to be with Helena Behrens and Joe Fawcett. You never know who's going to show up and play. So,
right, and then Christmas in July.
That's right, always Christmas in July. 28th, it's going to be at Hawaiian Brian's again, Slack Key Room. Both shows are at 8 p.m. This one is Local Mojo with Savannah McMahon.
And then the last time you guys played, you almost sold out the big room. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be hot, sweaty, like an LA club.
Oh, it's gonna be hot, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been talking over the last 2 years. Just we always keep in contact. But,
well, you guys are like brothers.
Yeah, we're basically joined at the hip.
Yeah.
So even when we're 6,000 miles apart, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're still connected in many ways and writing music and sharing it, and we talk any time of day or night.
Because the air you guys breathe is way up there. Not too many people live in that atmosphere. I mean, you have a collection. Okay, I had Keith Batlin on, and Keith tells me this thing, right? Like you and like Mike Love and all that stuff. Yeah, Sam Lights. Kaiser, what happened to Kaiser?
It was Ryan Bramfold, Adam Crow, a lot of the Free Sound Guidance crew, me, Tavana, Mikey Rojales. Everyone grew up in Hawaii, all around the same years, graduated, a couple years apart or wherever it was, but how many musicians came out of there, I don't really know.
Yeah, that time period's great. And then Tavana...
Bruno Mars, everybody.
Bruno was there a little bit later. And then Tavana says Jake would always hang out, but he never went there. Yeah.
And so there's a lot of, even like Sick Dog and they all like G-Spot and all these guys were all in the same area growing up. But it's definitely an epic spot that a lot of music came out. A lot of these guys are still doing it. A lot of us are still doing it. And it's I don't know what's in the water, but I'm drinking.
And then exactly. And then Marco hit me up for his podcast a couple years ago.
Marco Lesher.
Yeah. And then because Keith and Tomas tell stories about watching Auntie Charo play.
Oh yeah, Charo, she's unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, so usually I go like, when did the rock and roll bug hit you or bite you on the ass?
When I was 11 years old. When I was 11 years old, my dad, I was a basketball player. I loved Michael Jordan. My walls were, you couldn't even see the walls. There's all Michael Jordan posters and just us playing all the time. And my dad he loved garage sales. And he came home when I was probably 11 and a half years old, and he gave me 2 cassettes. He bought them for 25 cents each. Beastie Boys, License to Ill, and Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses. And it changed my life. Me and my dad have been listening to tapes, for the next week or so, and I said, Dad, I think I want to play guitar. What do you want to play? Bass, rhythm, lead? I said, well, what's what? I don't really know. And he pointed it out. We're listening to No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, that's the bass right there. That's the rhythm guitar. And then as soon as the solo hit, Kerry King is actually from Slayer. It says his sizzle.
That was a big thing for us. Like, Kerry crossed over, man. But then it was Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin did Death America. It was like, we'd call it Black Crowes and then Slayer and then all that stuff. So it was like...
As soon as that solo hit, my dad will play that.
Yeah.
And that summer, my dad had a restaurant actually in downtown Honolulu by Ala Moana. So the family went to England to visit my relatives. And when we were gone 2 months, he had to stay back when I came back. Because I got your birthday presents downstairs. I walked downstairs, turned on the light. There's a PV half stack, old school with 2 separate cabinets. and a black guitar with a speaker built into it that's operated by 2 batteries.
Yeah.
So I could walk around wireless.
Yeah.
And 3-way toggle switch with clean and distortion.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my first fucking guitar.
Wow.
And I still got it.
Whoa, that's good.
Yep.
And what?
And it changed my life.
And tell me about your mom.
My
Wait,
mom.
hi Jill.
Hey, Mom.
Love you. I see her once in a while.
Yeah.
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 She's around. She stays home a lot, but she is the sweetest lady. She's an English lady, and she had the best jobs growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tell everybody.
She worked for 20th Century Fox. She worked for Mickey Duff in a boxing company. Worked with Muhammad Ali's trainer, and then she also worked for Decca Records. She was Decca Records. Yeah, check it out. DECCA.
Yeah.
And she was an assistant to Dick Rowe. And Dick Rowe is known to be the guy who turned down the Beatles, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But, which is a hell of a move, but him and my mom signed The Who, Rod Stewart, and the Rolling Stones. I think it was 1962.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, she was right there for all of it. I used to sit at her desk and wait for Dick Rowe to come in.
Yeah.
Like, cup of tea, mate. Cup of tea. Keith, would you like a cup of tea? And she said Roger Daltrey was an amazing cat, and she's really nice. And she has no pictures.
Oh.
Why weren't you there for it?
I was born in '61, so I didn't get my first camera until I was 5 or something like that. Shit. Okay, so you're like 11, jamming away. All of a sudden, when do you have like, oh, yeah, I can do a band?
Well, I was 12 when I got the guitar and
Yeah.
I started doing stuff. I learned everything by ear. I was blessed with a good ear, and I didn't have any lessons until I was like 26, 27 when I went to Hollywood. And I would just listen to the radio, listen to tapes, wear out tapes, and I would just hear the sound, play the notes, and actually 6 months in, I went 12 and a half. My dad hands me the CD. Like Shadows Golden Hits, 20 songs.
Hank Martin, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing surf rock, just like instrumental stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, David, I love these guys. And for every song you learn, I'll give you $5.
Wow.
I said, really? It's like 11 in the morning. And we'd always have tea about like 4:30. You know, English, even Moroccan. My dad's Moroccan, and he'd have tea too. So every afternoon we'd get together sometime. We'd have tea together. I went up to my room, came down, we were about to have tea, and I said, all right, Dad, I did it. I did what? I learned the song. What do you mean? I said, I learned all the songs. Mm-hmm. No way. So I said, come on, I'll show you. We went upstairs, and I played the whole album, all 20 songs. First time I got paid.
Here's a fact about the Shadows. Hank had a red Stratocaster, the first one in England, and Cliff Richard snuck it over.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
How about that?
I'm not really.
Yeah. So, okay, wait. So if you guys know this guy, you know he has an amazing Les Paul. It's like a magical Les Paul.
It really is. Her name's Lucy Fur. She's as sweet as Lucy, but downright devilish as Lucifer she wants to be. But she is like desert burst color, and she is just, that's pretty sneaky. She's everything I dreamed about over the years. And still have the original pickup on the neck, changed the back one because I had to, but it is a dream come true. It's a relationship. I dance with her every day. And somebody offered me 50 grand for it, I wouldn't take it. Because it's a relationship, it's a friendship, it's a journey, and I can get the sounds I want, the feel that I want, and it's an experience. It really is. Thank you.
Yeah, because certain people out there have a certain guitar, their go-to guitar, forever kind of thing. Yep. And once you find that, it's a part of you. It is you.
It is you.
And it like your brain, your eyes, or whatever. It's actually you channel everything through this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
Yeah. When you say channel, it reminds me of Tavana when I used to when he was doing shows at Kelly's. He doesn't play there no more, but when I'd walk, he did Friday nights, and I'd walk in an hour into his set, and it was packed. Yeah. It wasn't necessarily that it was packed. It's whatever the crowd situation was, he'd be playing the same. And he was channeling Hendrix and just Stevie, and he'd be doing his one-hand thing, his hand like this, he's playing for about a minute without even stroking the string. Yeah. Just hammer-ons, and And it really is just channeling things and knowing your tool and how to shape sound and listening to the other guys.
Because he has that guitar his dad gave him.
Yep.
And he can get any guitar he wants right now, ever. But he's been with that faithful with that guitar as long as I've known him. He's been faithful with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah. He's something special to play with. Yeah.
Well, you guys, like I said, you guys are the same brother from another mother kind of thing. Which really, since what, 4 years old or something?
I think it was about 6.5, 7, something like that.
Yeah.
Our first memory was when he lived by the Wahoo Club in Hawaii, and our family was, they were friends. So first time I'm meeting him and his brother Malala, and our first memory is just hanging out while the parents are hanging out. And for some reason there was a stuffed animal dynamite, and we're just playing with it. And that's the first memory of it. And I started writing a song about that, but haven't finished it. But it's no matter how long we're apart, we don't need 5, 10 rehearsals to get back into shape. We just say, what's up? Handshake. Oh yeah, you want to do something right now? And we're right on point. And it's something special. And
there was a couple of shows. There was one show that it was at Hawaiian Brian's, and a lot of, I think, vodka was consumed that night.
You were drinking, or I was?
Everybody was. And these guys came out in sunglasses, and it was like the best club show since I saw Rat in the club. And I told you guys, it was like these guys are just on point. I mean, I tried to make it. Anyway, so what was your first band?
First band.
Yeah.
Well, me and my friend Mikey Rojales, he's the first drummer I ever played with. We were about 15. He was a grade below me. He was at New Valley, and I was at Kaiser already. And it was a death metal band, Yeah. And it's called Incision. Keone Solomito. It's just like 4 of us, and it was epic. And we played. We walked out with a Pantera pop leaf shirt, played at the lunch session, and it was awesome. Death metal was awesome. I still like death metal. It's not like in my blood, but there is a lot that I really appreciate and love.
Probably the freedom.
Absolutely. And, angry young teenagers, shit like that. But it's that was a lot of fun. Mikey Rojales is still drumming. He's played with Brian recently. He's up in Oregon. But it's the first band.
And then what's your first recording project?
First recorded project.
Like that.
For some reason, right before that, even though Tawana and I were both looking for band members all through high school, we both had separate things we were trying to do. Look for members. We didn't ever really put it together or ask each other to do something together. It was just so fun.
Yeah.
Both did Brown Bags, talent show separately, but it didn't come together later. With Local Mojo, we'll talk about. But first recorded project was in a band. When it was in Hollywood, much later, Solution, SOUL, Solution.
Hector, if you're watching.
Yeah. It was unreal thing. I was leaving, just got out of a relationship, 8-year relationship, and I was living in my car, a 1970 Mustang in Hollywood. And
what year is this?
This is 2007.
Oh, that was long ago. I was here already.
2007, And I was living in my car, and as soon as I left this girl, just went to live in my car, drove there, and slept in my car that night. The next day, one of my classmates, we started it. And the 3 of us, we just fell together. We were called Fat and Ugly. And we had the show the same week. And it was epic. And that was the beginning of a 4-year, 330 shows a year friendship and relationship. It was brilliant. So we recorded Another Road, Another Story. And that was unbelievable. The family that we created through LA, Austin, Hawaii, people are still talking about it and asking us if there's anything, if we can play together. And once in a while we get back together and do a show. Those guys are still doing well, playing music. But,
After Solution, then what?
After Solution, that was a rough breakup because of the manager we had. He's no good manager. He's a piece of work. But right after that, we created Me, You, and Dave. It was me, Kyle, the bass player of Solution, and this guy, Davey Jones, who was a rock and roll trio. And just went right into that band. Played South by Southwest, 8 shows, and that lasted for a little bit before I moved back to Hawaii, and went through a rough patch with a lot of personal things, but Savannah and I were jamming, and I remember exactly where I was. It was at the Shell parking lot.
Yeah.
And I thought of the band name Local Mojo, and that snapped everything into place, and we were just right on point. Exactly the place I needed to be.
The only problem is there's no recorded material. And I yelled at you guys for, I don't know, because there was a time period between, I guess, 2016 and 2019. Every time he would play or you would play, whatever, at Kelly 3 o'clock in the morning or like King's Pub until who knows when. And then there's one time you guys are Cherry. I thought, hey, just get Robin, bring his stuff down and record it. Yeah.
We tried to do something over at Hard Rock Cafe in Waikiki. Yeah. And the recording wasn't great. I mean, we were doing good, but it just wasn't worth making an album over. But we have talked about it, doing it on this trip while I'm here, maybe a couple tracks, but we'll see. But part of the magic of Local Mojo isn't mountain shows we're playing. It's the brotherhood, it's the family, the ohana.
It's the magic.
It really is. It's something special. So we're gonna do a lot. This is just the beginning. Still.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because you guys are all. When you have a partnership or musical equal, it doesn't matter how long you go without each other, and then you walk back and it's gonna be your best friend. All of a sudden, you're like, there you go. Here we go. Let's watch this, guys. Yeah. Wait. My favorite story of this guy. I knew of him, but I never saw him. The first time. It was like 2016 or 17. He just flew back in, and Tavon's doing his little thing at King's Pub. He's going, Dave's going to show up. Okay, whatever. And like, no, watch this. And then you walk in with your flight. They picked you up at the airport, dragged you in. His flight case, he flicks his switchblade, cuts the tape off, plugs in. It's like, and every time Tavon's like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? And it was like, that was just like, to come off the airplane and just go for it.
When I pack, more than half of my stuff is equipment, shenanigans, fire tools, pedals, slides, whatever it is. And it just, if I need it at the airport, cut the tape, boom, you're open. You're ready to go. You got to be ready to go all the time. And I dress like this for the beach. I might get out of the water and Keith Richards is standing there and just like, hey, let's jam.
So, who are the most influential rock stars or musicians in your life? That once in a while you're like, God, I love that shit. Or you go to big time.
Well, most influential is not once in a while that I think about it. I think about these guys every day. There's 3 top blues artists. Son House is the best. And Muddy Waters and Albert Collins. But really, Hendrix and Slash have been my ultimates along the way. Johnny Cash, best storyteller ever. Tool has lately, in the last year, I've always loved Tool. I saw them in '93, and I just saw them with my girl in Cleveland. My friend was opening for them. We drove 500 miles to see them.
I saw them in 1990 when they had these little clubs.
Yeah, big little clubs, right?
Yeah, LA.
Right? And I saw them at Cool Little Ranch from Big LA. But especially in the last year since I saw them, I have listened to them every day. And I've learned a lot of their songs in the last year.
Really?
And I feel like it's definitely made me more intelligent musically and just
because Adam's way out there.
Yeah, and they're all playing. It sounds like they're all playing different time signatures, which they actually are. But it's just math, right? How things different. 4 and 3 adds up to 12, and then he's playing 3, 4. And then it's the other side of it. And
then you got Dana, man. What a monster drummer.
Danny Carey.
It's been a long time.
So they write. What I heard, I'm actually reading his book right now, and Maynard. But how they write. I guess most of the time that they write, it's the 3 of them, Dustin Chancellor, Adam, and Danny. They write the music, and then Maynard adds his magic to it. But their light show and everything right now is phenomenal. And it's intelligence. It's not all angry stuff. Like a lot of the early stuff felt a lot of anger and madness. And there is still some of that, but it's intelligence, and he's not. It's not. Some people are worried. Like, oh, you listen to Tool so much. It's not about. Yeah, it's intelligence.
Yeah, Tool's really good. I remember the first album, the second effort came out. I'm in LA because I knew people in Zoo Records, and I read the album credits, right? Like that. Yeah. It says cow photograph by. I'm going, I don't see a cow photograph. Like, okay, I'm going like, no. I kind of know Maynard. I knew Maynard when they used to hang out with Green Jelly and shit. So okay, I take the CD, I pop the thing out. There's a photograph of a cow licking its butt
underneath.
Yeah. Like, because once you, I mean, it's sometimes you get a band that can do what they want to do, or allowed to do something they want to do.
Absolutely, and to keep a listener or all of the listeners, to keep their focus, without boring them throughout a 12-minute song, is amazing. Yeah, and I listened to their album Fear Inoculum. It's fucking amazing. It's just long songs, and it just keeps you interested. You know. You don't lose the crowd, you don't lose the listener.
He had a side project, he's part of a side project called Replicants. And they did that David Bowie song, I forgot what it was, but it was like...
Space Art?
No, it was like Ibiza Brothers or something like that.
I remember that.
Really popular kind of thing.
Yeah, they're Lucifer and was it Perfect Circle?
Yeah. And I'm a big Maynard fan because he's out there in the fringes. Yeah, I like people who can live out there and make a living on the fringes and still attract attention.
Yeah,
stuff,
absolutely.
Like that. Right now, there's not many people like that. You know, and
Mike Patton was definitely all out there. With, all his bands.
Yeah, because you have to be right lately in reality. You can't be too far out. The world's population doesn't stand too much next level shit right now.
No.
But you know, I'm always hopeful. We'll have some kids out there and stuff.
The stuff on the radio. I mean, there is a lot of people say there's no good music these days. There's a lot of good music.
Of good music.
I mean, Jack White's unbelievable. He's been around for years, but there's, I mean, from Monsters and Men to other guys that are coming on.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I mean, my Rival Sons, they've been on for a long time. Starbenders are a great band from Atlanta. The two, and the Pale Royale. There's always a lot of stuff going on. You just have to find it. It's not like you turn on the radio anymore or read a magazine.
The radio's rough. You know, once in a while you hear some new shit on the radio. That's
like, it's tough. I mean, whatever comes to my desktop, and I kind of search for things. And so, like, okay, here it is. I mean, tons. Because my thing is music. It's always not just all but new kind of thing. You want to have to go back and revisit something, but I want something new. Like Pat Benatar. I knew her. I mean, I knew of her when the first album came out. And I saw her on her first tour.
Whoa.
I saw her on her first tour, and then I saw her on her first big tour. Because Mike Chapman connection. Mike Chapman, the producer, who produced Sweet, Blondie, Susie Quattro. You had all those big hits, and he produced her. And so we used to follow producers when we were kids. Hey, John, where are you? In high school, I had this big, tall German friend, and and he was like ahead of the curve on some things. And during college, we thought, let's rock this shit. We started Rock Next, and it went for like fanzine kind of thing to 100,000 issues. And I was like, whatever. Right now, you'd be Alice Cooper. That was kind of cool. All right, wait. Let's talk about your first solo album.
Oh, but Dave Edery and the Scandaliers.
Yeah.
So that was. I started recording the first few tracks. It was actually here in Hawaii with Joe Fawcett, who I played with on Thursday. He had this studio right by on Peacoin, and we recorded 4 tracks there. On Top of the World, Pirates of Rock and Roll, Back on My 2 Feet, and Based on a True Pitch. And Pirates was just finished then, so the recording we did there was epic. We had Blind Mike on bass, Tavon was playing rhythm, and I asked like 50 of my friends to show up at like 2 in the morning when the songs we're finishing the recording, so we could get everyone doing Pirate R's, and they did. It was epic. But that was the beginning of it. That recording of Pirates was epic, but it wasn't how I had it in my mind, how I wrote it. And so when I moved a month after that session of recording, It was a rough start landing back here. I was moving back to LA for a couple of years. And I continued the recordings, but I re-recorded Mark Ali. He's another great drummer that I played with over the years. He's in Nashville now. Recorded the rest of the tracks for this album. The album's called Just One More. It's on Spotify, YouTube, all that stuff. But that was an epic first just like solo release of where my heart and mind is. Dude. Just all the raw rock and roll influences of like Keith Richards and White Stripes, Guns N' Roses, all this rock and roll storytelling stuff. And released it in 2012. It was awesome. We got some shirts and CDs printed again. We got some people with it.
Well, that's fine. But you got 2 gems out of that.
Which are the gems that you think?
Well, basically True Bitch, of course.
Yeah.
And then, look, so this guy shows that night when we first met him. And then they get into this swampy kind of thing. And I never saw Pirates of Rock and Roll before. But, of course, everybody else knew about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it goes through. It's like...
Yeah, it's quite an adventure. And,
yeah, it is. And everyone's going, wow.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Yeah. That's like, to have a song like that, especially
anthem, a pirate anthem.
In a place like King's Pub, you're in someone's basement. Kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's low ceilings.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of low ceilings, there's a hole in the ceiling right above where we're playing because when we do the hey, pirates are like that part.
Yeah.
I did it and I punched through the ceiling and my hand was all the way through it. It's still there. But that King's Pub was epic. Tuesday nights there were unbelievable.
Hector.
What's up, Hector?
No, it was fun.
Yeah.
Then it ended, but then you guys grew better still.
Oh, yeah.
And then he got the Crossroads gig.
Yeah.
And then you guys packed even more people when you guys played.
Yeah.
It was good. I mean, I always look forward to that. Yeah. It's like, I liked him by him solo stuff, but I'm going like, you 2 guys have this,
Yeah, it's natural chemistry. It's just like in a bottle kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just the way we talk, the way we talk on stage, with our instruments. It's natural. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And then how'd you come up with doing Alice in Chains cover tune? I don't want to say cover tune, but you guys come up with that. That's a...
Yeah, that is just, it's very, it's a deep song. It's a heavy song.
Yes. And then whose idea was to switch instruments?
Well, Tavana always wants to play my guitar, so I let him once in a while, not too often.
Yeah.
And when he plays that, I said, you can play my guitar better than me, man.
Yeah.
No, but he loved it. Like when I said he's channeling Hendrix and Kelly O'Neill, so when you see him off of his throne, off his drum pedals, he's a different animal. Yeah. It's ridiculous. His album, Electric Monkey, Rhythm of My Bones, all that stuff, he's a different animal, and it's beautiful. So I got to play his drum and his acoustic, and we just changed it. We still both sing and harmonize, but I don't remember whose idea it was to play that, but with all the friends we've lost over the years, I think of them, it just scrolls in my mind and just revisit them through that pain and release and processing it, and it's beautiful. And, same thing with Hurt, Johnny Cash.
You do the Johnny Cash version. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Trent's version is great too. And I just really have a relationship with Johnny Cash.
Yeah, because the way you do it, it's like Johnny Cash, but a little bit more updated. Yeah. And then I read so many stories about that song and that song with look at Johnny Depp saying hi.
What's up, Depp?
And so it's that whole. I knew Trent Reznor back in LA days. He played the bourgeois pig and all that stuff. And I appreciate that stuff. But when there's a story where he was so busy doing some album, and his man was, "Hey, Johnny Cash did a song." Okay, that's good. And it wasn't until he actually 3 months later you heard it. It's like, dude, that's Johnny Cash's song. Yeah, kind of like when Hendrix did All Around the Watchtower. Bob Dylan goes, "It's a Hendrix song."
Who's Dylan?
Yeah. No, that's fine. And then because you guys really take some things and. The thing about, if I'm going to see a band and they do covers, let's fluff them up. Let's take them, spit them out again. And then even like Ghost Riders.
Ghost Riders in the Sky. How I've, a lot of people.
Really I get chicken skin just thinking about that.
It's just really what you do with it. If you learn the song as it is, you know, cookie cutter, just like learn all the notes for the solo, the melody, all that stuff, cool. But with how we do it, we give the respect to the band, to the artists, the writers, how it's written. You learn it that way, and then take it on your own way, which is what Hendrix did, which is what all the greats did, Stones and all those guys. And it really does create a different, split the road again, and it's still going the same way. So yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. What are you up to now? Wait! It's so good to see you, motherfucker.
Good to see you, brother. It's great to see you.
We've had some crazy, not a lot of crazy adventures, but just enough to go. Okay, I don't know.
Well, it's just the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's always the beginning. So like that. So what are you doing now?
Well, me and my girl Casey.
She's watching.
What's up, baby? She's the best. She's such a sparkling, shiny star in my life, and we've been together 5.5 years. When I left for tour with Onward, etc., about 4 years ago, a little more than that, she was still living here. We met here at Hawaiian Vines, actually. And when I was going on tour, she finished her acupuncture degree. She had some tests to take, a really important test, and she was having a baby. So she wanted to get out of the distractions on Honolulu, go there, go to Connecticut. And she did. And when I was done with tour, I passed through there, came back here to see Guns N' Roses, spend time with family, and then I was here for a couple months. It's like, what am I going to do here? And she's gone. She's been gone like 10 months. My dad said, what the hell are you doing here? Your love, your best friend, you love him. It's out there. Let's see her. And my dad's not really like that. He never really connected. My dad's amazing, but it's not like that. And it struck me, and next thing you know, I'm like, I'm a wanderer. Create a bed anyway. And she's worth it. She's worth it. She's worth it. And I went out there. Been there 4 years now, a little over that. And we're not there forever. Planning to move soon, but it's good. We're in Springdale, Connecticut. It's like an hour north of New York City. We have amazing spots, second and third floor of this house. And we have amazing creative space. I cleared out the closet upstairs and made a stage and curtains and everything, cool lights. And I'm creating more than ever artistically, like burning wood and doing painting and just creating one-off guitars, slide guitars, kitchen guitars. I'm teaching at School of Rock 5 days a week.
School of Rock teaching. Could you imagine have your kid, your 12-year-old kid, going like, "This is who my kid I want to teach my kid rock and roll." True, honestly, man, I want someone like this guy who's been there, done it, who knows what he's talking about, who's not like, okay, no, we want someone who lives stuff, but also keeps it in context.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it really, I've been with them for about 3.5 years.
Yeah.
But in September, I became full-time, and was doing some renovations on the side before that, and I was part-time at the school, and I'm not doing renovations at all anymore, just custom pieces of art and stuff like that. But when I went back, honing in on the craft of teaching, I really have dialed it in. It means the world to me. My students, I probably have about 45 students, and I directed the Rolling Stones program for the adults, and it's success, and it's epic. And it's not all the money in the world, but you know what? It's not about that. You dial it in, figure out how to make money around that, but what it means to my heart, and seeing a kid get it. He's 8 years old, and he has a performance in a month, and you teach him something, you take the time, slow him down. Everyone wants to play fast. Slow him down, and you see the moment that spark hits them in their mind, their eye, and their heart. It's epic.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm doing that.
Yeah, because you get to the point you have to get back.
Yeah.
I mean, you have all this knowledge, you want to, okay, it's good.
And teaching helps you. It smartens you up. Sharpens you up. So I'm doing that. I've been fire spinning a lot. I got a staff and rope dart that's 11 feet long. So we're going to be doing that up here too. But that we hang out at our friend Deb's house. We can hang out with our friend Deb all the time. She's epic, and friendships we have out there are epic. They're different and epic, and people always ask me, "How you move away from Hawaii?" to Connecticut, I've never lived in 4 seasons, and it's absolutely beautiful. When fall hits, I mean, there's different inspirations, different temperatures, different, you know, it's beautiful. So I'm happy to be there. We're not going to be there forever, but yeah, we're killing it. New York's different. We're planning on moving to New York City. And no way, after COVID and all that, it's different. There's a different edge to it. New York will bounce back. It's like, you know, they always do. It's great to be around there. And
because we're finally kind of bouncing back here.
Yeah, Hawaii's probably one of the last.
But it's good. A lot of things going on. Everybody's starting playing, a lot of things picking up and stuff like that. It's like, I still have my day job. Sorry, guys.
Well,
yeah, it's good. I mean, I do other things too.
I mean, I'd like to be a full-time musician and not at the school all the time.
Yeah.
No matter what, I will always teach or influence.
But once you get to New York, there's a
like
lot of stuff to do. A lot of people who do the same thing. And you got all this
sometimes you gotta have a day job, but you just as long as you still are working at your craft and what you love and you're passionate. And you are, I gotta say, Bill Hale, you are something else with your photography. Not only the pictures that I've seen of like me and Tavana and stuff, but what you do, I love photography. I know I can take amazing pictures. I got an eye for it, framing and things like that. And what I've seen of things you've done, you got some cool stuff.
Appreciate it. Which is my Kuliana. So it's like, and then my bad thing is I like having a scene.
Yeah.
I'm so like LA or San Francisco scene. So when I find something like you guys, and I inherited you guys and stuff, and all the little crazy people. We should do a toast to Luby.
Bubba Luby is a dear friend of ours that we lost recently, and he is a one-of-a-kind storyteller, a magician. He's epic. And here's to you, Brother Luce.
I mean, so we
love it.
Yeah, we've had some here and there. I mean, my trail of craziness is like just being who I am. I mean, 26 is Cliff Burton, Deb, and Todd Crew, and all of that. Then lately, you know, my actual Nick's watching.
Yeah, what's up, Nick?
Dude, crazy. And he's doing everything. He's like in movies and shit. And somehow
he's a special guy, man.
He finds these movies that he looks the part in.
Oh yeah,
it's like crazy.
He's a positive vibe technician.
Yeah.
PBT, remember that? He actually, when Andre Cetera was on tour 3.5 months, I had 4 days to learn the songs, find the drummer for the band, and go to Chicago. And there's a lot of stuff before that, but anyway, we started in Chicago. I think it was 4 or 5 shows later, he met us out in Philly. He was with us for about 5 shows. And, he's something special like that.
Yeah, because I tapped into you guys. You guys are a fucking fan base from hell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Nick used to be at Luby's house jamming with us. I mean, he's been such a solid cat over the years. Yeah. He's one that you can bank on, take the bank and trust all down to the bone.
Yeah. He's that crazy guy in Tavana's song. Okay, so what do you want to do in the future? What do you want to do? I mean, the future's yours. Yeah. As the story goes.
Yep. Yeah. I'm in a large transition with a lot of things that have had up in the air and landing things in the proper place. You can't think too long on these things. And I've taken just to be honest, I've taken a step to the side from playing out. I was in a band, a cover band in Connecticut, and the cool guys, great guys, and it was covers. But it took away from my creative time for working on Dave Edery and the Scandalier, which is what I'm writing. Yeah. And it's, I left the band last year. And so since then, I haven't been playing a lot of gigs, but I've been writing a lot of stuff and getting things ready to land. When we go back in 3 weeks, I have several things I want to do, and it's incorporating fire spinning into shows with the music. It's recording another album. I have several singles I want to release. The new one you haven't heard yet, Live Your Rock and Roll, which is a song I've been wanting to write for a long time. Dirty Little Sliver. That one's a good one. We did a video for that.
It's the other Nick. Hey, Kurt.
Yeah, what's up, Nick? How you doing, brother? So Yeah, so I have a lot of musical, artistic things coming up, and the important thing is we got a great spot to create, and I have a beautiful woman by my side that I trust and love, and the amount of family and friends that we have in the distance or right next to us is I'm very grateful for it. So, but yeah.
Hit your phone for a second. Okay, how you doing?
We're good.
You good? It's always good to see you, man.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. So what are you doing? Okay, it's his birthday. What are you doing tonight?
Well, tonight I got a few things going. I'm actually I'm marrying my friends instead. I became ordained minister. So
wait, tell them in the.
Yeah, so I am Reverend Edery now. I'm marrying my friend, my dear friend Ryan Bramble, the me sweet. Yeah, I'm marrying them. Yep.
Oh,
we
no
married
way.
on Saturday.
Oh.
And we talked about it a few months ago. And he said, "Do you really want to do this?" I said, "Absolutely."
Oh.
Yep. So
Tell them I
did
said
it all.
yay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love those two.
So really, this whole first week that I'm here,
Yeah.
I'm so wrapped up in making sure that what I am bringing to it is I'm on point with it, because the wedding is a very special time, as we know, and it's a very short thing. But
it's a
when
friend.
that's finished, I will really be able to breathe fully.
How long have you guys been friends? I mean, that's like
since
20 years ago.
since I was a freshman. My first, thank you. Since I was a freshman, he was at New Valley, and that was my first gig, actually.
Yeah.
I got a pass to get out of school to go play with my bandmates that were in New Valley. Security stopped me on the way out. They thought I was cutting class.
Yeah.
I said, "No, I got a pass, dude." I had my guitar.
You like that, though.
Caught the bus, went to my gig.
As a gig.
And that's how I met Ryan and Adam Crow and a bunch of guys. And,
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, pretty cool. So marrying them, Misha's such a special person. Thank you for it.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for them. We're staying in Kailua. Really, the amount of thought and heart that I am putting into this is really consuming me. After Saturday, I will be able to breathe full and be ready to. I just gotta make sure.
That's so cool.
I cross my T's and dot my lowercase J's.
Cool. Otherwise, what do you want to tell everybody, what's happening?
Yeah, so
we're gonna wrap it up in a minute. I know you're really super busy.
No, absolutely. No, I'm down. I designated a couple hours for this. So
Good.
So I'm not.
Okay. So in that case, what was your first big gig that you saw that blew your mind?
First big concert that I went to?
Yeah. They're like, holy shit.
The first big show the first show I actually saw.
Yeah.
12 years old, 1991 it was, and Skid fucking Row.
Wow.
I saw Skid Row at Aloha Tower, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
My sister Deborah, she got on stage like 4 times.
No way.
Security threw her off. She had her arms around Sebastian Bach. Threw her off. It was pouring rain. I got my first black eye at that show. So it was, but Skid Row was unbelievable.
Yeah, they came. Unfortunately, they came too late.
Yeah.
If they were like 3 years before, them and Buck Cherry, they were like in the wrong place at the wrong time. But
Skid Row is still nothing but
on their B-sides album, whatever it was. Sebastian sings a little bit better than anybody else ever could.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
amazing.
And I got to meet him a couple times. He was singing with Guns N' Roses on tour, and I got backstage for that. Met Axl, met No Gang, and Sebastian's such a cool cat. He's tall, cowboy boots and all. He's like 6'6" with his boots, but he's shining energy, that guy. Yeah. And I got to have a glass of wine. We sat at his booth, just me and him at the Rainbow Bar and Grill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know that's fun. And so that was my first show ever, and that just kicked my ass right into gear. And Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Faith No More, all that stuff was a huge part of my upbringing. Yeah. Rolling Stones has been a huge part of my life, especially my mom signing them. But just how many recordings they did, Keith Richards style, and I know I'm going to meet Keith this year. And,
Good.
Yeah, because he lives like 10 miles, 15 miles from us. Yeah. But he comes out. And
Let me tell you, my near missus Keith Richards.
Yeah.
So he's doing his first solo tour, right? And it's at the Palladium on his birthday. So
80s.
Yeah, 87 or whatever it was. And we had done a bunch of stuff with Virgin Records. because they wanted a bunch of Gary Moore stuff done.
Yeah.
I got to hang out with Gary Moore.
Ooh.
Yeah, and at the Sunset Martini before you, Ross Halfin. And then we did all this great section, and then we did. And then the PA goes, okay, what do you want? It's like, keep coming to town. Yeah. And so we had, my buddy John and I had a photo pass. And they're like, going, yeah, what's going on? And then we live in Monterey. We're driving. And there's San Luis Obispo. The first time in 30 years they closed the pass down. Yeah, we couldn't pass. I'm like so pissed off. Because, he's in a Fiero with ball tires and you just couldn't go. And they closed the road and shit. And the next day was Robert Plant and Joe Jett. So that was, and I knew if I got there, my photograph would have been on this fucking album. Anyway, so the next time, I'm living in LA, it's Voodoo Lounge tour, the Steel Wheels tour, right? And one of my best friends is at Columbia Records or whatever. And my girlfriend and I, we left early. I get back on the answer machine. It was windy. Like, I can't make it. You can't have my backstage passes. Like, yeah.
Winning.
Yes, exactly. So I love Keith. Keith's amazing. Even today, he's amazing. It's just the whole thing of Keith Richards all the way through.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
There's a picture I saw of his hand. You look at his hands in pictures.
Yeah.
His face is like American Indian rock and roll.
Yeah.
Cheeky bastard.
Yeah.
If you look at his hands, they look like snake heads, like the size of his knuckles.
Yeah.
But he's still doing good. And that skull ring he has, which, he said you were going to give it to me one day. Anyway,
did I say I would give it to you?
Right,
when did I say that?
Several years ago. And he said, I know I'm going to give it to you someday, but I'm going to wait.
Yeah, someday.
And,
you got a photograph for your book.
Well, I thought it was the ring, but this is just...
No, you're right. Someday I will give it to you.
I know you said that before. I'm just giving you shit.
No, I will.
It is that's a very special piece. I'm just giving you shit.
It's always in my backpack.
I got my beautiful rings, and my dad made this and this, and see, my dad made this one. He made this in the early 70s. There used to be a pin. It's a sterling silver skull. It's a skull and cross guitars, and then it was a pin on his jacket in the 70s before I was born. About 10 years ago now, we soldered it to a key, a skeleton key that was lead. And I was wearing this chain, and my spoiling your skin, the acid in your body, all of a sudden it felt like it was kicked in the chest. This lead was seeping into me. So I told my dad, we need to. So he remade it into this thing.
Yes.
And so now it's a skeleton. It's all solid.
If you're familiar with Pirates of Rock and Roll, you understand the skeleton key.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I know I'll get it one day, but yeah.
Yeah, I know you'll get it one day. Yeah.
But no, it's life is good, life is beautiful, and all the influences and family and friends around me. I am blessed. We are blessed, and rock and roll is in our blood.
Yeah.
That's part of the song. You'll hear it on Thursday. But I'm very happy. I'm very blessed, and just thank you all. And I'm looking forward to what's coming up in the next few months and the next few years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wish you could have been for the gallery show, but that's fine.
Yeah, I really wanted to, and I was, just following everything you were doing.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, I know everybody couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Mike Love was in it, but he tweeted about it. The only person to say, anyway. Did you see the photographs that Keith Batley did?
At the gallery or recently?
The ones in red from Mary Jane.
I saw it, yeah.
Shit. It took us 3 years to get that session together. And we got the Buckingham, Gillian Fountain. It was just epic. Yeah. And then we got to...
he's so styling all the time. I've known Keith Batlin since we were like 4 or 5 years old, sitting on the beach in Waimanalo. Yeah, just epic. Keith Batlin dances like Michael Jackson,
Oh!
And there's videos I haven't released, and he laughs and says, please don't. And they're epic. I always laugh and threaten him I'm going to release them, but he's a badass. He's a solid guy. He's a family guy. He's nothing but creative and a beautiful person.
Yes, he's a family guy.
Take to the bank. Sure. Yeah, he's amazing. He's the beautiful children and Eden. And, the music is great.
So did I tell you the story? So one day I'm like laying in my bed going like, why am I helping these guys so much? You, Tavana, David, like that. I mean, Keith and stuff. And then Keith's playing the blue for the first time. I get there, and Mama Battling comes over to me like, "You went to Monterey High, right?" I said, "Yeah." "You went to 70. You ran track, and you Keith's dad and uncle." I'm going, and then figured out if I got busy in high school, you guys be my kids. You'd be my son's age, and that's why I think I take so much pride in joining you guys and helping you guys.
It's an energy, right? Like the proper manager for a band is the one who believes in you.
Yeah.
And so
and get things done.
Yeah, Tavana, before we met, he was like, "Oh, you got to meet this guy, Bill Hale. He's amazing photographer. He shot for Metallica and all the greats through the years." And when I met you, your hair's amazing, by the way.
Somehow it's going all one length now. I don't know what's happening with that, but it's not the whole 80s like anymore. No, yeah. We have the thing about Tavana and I was really cool.
By the way, I got your bookmark in my Maynard book.
Awesome. Yeah. Because I knew him like in 2009.
Yeah.
And then I saw him again in 2013 on stage, and then going, he had something. But he got clean and sober. He was expecting Maverick. He had something, a spark there. And then I started, and then I would say, like, "You're not wearing that, are you?" It's like I always kind of be subtle because he's a Virgo. You can't say too many things to him, but it's like you can't look like you just came off the beach. You have to look rock and roll.
That's how it goes to the beach. I'm dead serious. I do. And it's, everybody has their own style and how they play. I don't understand the barefoot on stage, the dirty surf shorts with a burrito stain on your,
you gotta look the part.
Your beer t-shirt.
We can do the bare feet. That's fine. But
it's not about the bare feet. I don't.
No.
I don't. I have a way of. That I do things.
This man was rock and roll when I first met him. He's never shied away from rock and roll ever, and that's like kind of cool because you and me, I've been rock and roll since I was a kid, and then to have this guy in my life, to have this, some of the people I worked with may influence him, but it's like he's genuine. He's the real deal. He knows he's talking. And that voice. It's like, were you born with that like that? I'm not really sure. You have to work on it.
I remember the first person that said something about my voice, and I was getting my hair cut maybe when I was like 14, 15. But this Asian lady in Hale.
Yeah.
And she said, "Ooh, you have a nice voice. You radio announcer. Ooh, I like your voice." It's like, that's the first thing I remembered about my voice, and several people after that. But it is very low, and I can go incredibly low. It's funny sometimes when you think you're having there's something going on with my throat, I can go even lower, and the different rasp like that.
But it works. It's like,
it's cool and figure it out.
Hey Rex, it's Rex.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
This is
fun.
This is why we do it live because people chime in like, like that. So,
working with my voice is like Johnny Cash said. Singing seems to help a troubled soul.
Yeah.
It's not that I have a troubled soul, but what singing and playing guitar has done for me is you break into your creative, heartfelt bubble, and nothing else matters but that moment.
Yeah.
And when you embrace that and you're able to get to that point, a lot of beautiful shit comes out. And you're able to process shit, process debts, process emotions, process arguments that you've had with your father or your best friend or there's forgiveness and all kinds of things that come with it.
You have that, you live that, and you don't lie. Whatever you say, that's happened. I like that.
I don't lie. I don't lie to my girl. And when people say, "Oh, I see you lying," no, I don't at all. And the thing is, I don't lie because I don't want to look over my shoulder. I don't have to cover up my bases. All my friends are like that.
I can trust you guys. If I need something from you, you'll be there. And actually, you guys have been there for me. It's good. But no, it's good. I wasn't even with that point. I lost it, but it's fine. But you live, you walk the walk, talk the talk. You are it. I like. And then really quick though. I love this story. One day he shows up with the ES335.
That's an amazing guitar. I was in Hollywood, and we knew these couple guys next door from a friend's house. And they have a really cool house, two guys, and they had just cool, old school wood floors, like cool plants, really done well. And I saw this acoustic guitar with a plant inside of the hole, and beautiful plant going on there. What's with the acoustic with the plant? And look at that Gibson next to it. He goes, Dave, you're not going to believe this, but I was drunk walking home from West Hollywood, and I walked down the alley to get to my house, and I saw something shining sticking out of a big dumpster. What? And he goes, yeah, I looked at it, and there was two guitars, these two guitars, no cases. Somebody must have pissed off somebody.
Yeah.
And I said, you're going to give me that guitar. You're not going to stick a plant in that Gibson, are you? He's like, yeah, I'm giving it to you. And so, thanks. And he didn't give it to me right then, but before I moved, I kept joking with him. Because he doesn't play guitar. There was just now art piece. It's a $5,000 art piece.
Yeah, exactly.
And he said, babe, I was going to give it to you anyway.
No!
And he has me this Gibson 335 hollow body with gold Bigsby bridge and everything. Found in the trash can.
Badass.
Yeah, so, her name's Freedom. And I'm actually going to paint on the bottom of it upside down, Freedom on it, cool white writing. So in the distance, when playing, I can lift it like that, and the whole crowd can see Freedom on it. Because Freedom's a beautiful thing. And I came from the Doors song.
Freedom?
Yeah, Freedom. He's talking about the girls, and he's like, one of them was named Freedom, the other Enterprise.
Oh, that's right. I know that song. Larry, he beat you to the punch. You got a Jim Morrison quote in. Okay, really quick. So, your top 3 albums of all time.
Appetite for Destruction.
Yes.
Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
And Electric Ladyland.
Yes.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yes.
It's right there together. They're epic.
Yes.
The third one, there's so many people, but I just gotta say License to Ill Beastie Boys, because that Appetite for Destruction and License to Ill, my first 2 pieces of music I've ever owned, and they absolutely changed my life.
But those are game changers all the way through.
Big time. And non-stop. Just every song is, there's no filler. It's all killer.
Because the GNR thing, I don't care who you are, old or young, whatever, that's always been the game changer.
Yeah.
You know, I lived it. Geffen called me all the time. It was like, I'm just saying that I work with bands, I get really close to them, and I wasn't going to, because that was...
The music is what you did there.
Yeah,
the music is
but I get caught up in things. I mean, Metallica was cool, but I would just like pepper and schnapps or whatever, beer and stuff. But when you're talking... Is
that what you drink?
It used to back then. That's all we could afford and shit.
Pinkies out.
Yeah. No, it's like from the can. And Lars always, pepper, and Dave Mustaine always, and then whatever, like that. But as at the point in your life, you really latch on to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so my big thing was I knew better. I was at that point where I would be doing that. And it's like the Stones during the early 70s. Everybody around were junkies. That was true. And so I just didn't want to. I saw GNR 3 times. It's fine. But it was never going to. I met Izzy, I met Slash.
Yeah, I met Slash.
Wait. I gave this man my Cat House t-shirt.
Yeah, that's right. Remember?
That's how much I love him.
Yeah, that's right. I brought it with me, too. I'm going to wear it at the show. But yeah.
When the original cast, Tammy, if you're out there.
Like I was saying about every track on License to Ill, Electric Ladyland, and Appetite for Destruction are dynamite.
Yes.
I have this friend, Keone Solomito. That battled for me about Girls, Motley Crue is way better than Appetite for Destruction. Motley Crue is good. Girls is good. Yeah. But no contest. It is.
There's 2 songs on there, and that's it. But Appetite, because you get like, what is it, 12 years to write the first album and 6 weeks to do like the second album.
Oh, it's insane. The tone, the guitar tones, the energy is fire.
Yeah, it was great. And that was like, Manny Charlton from Nazareth actually worked the pre-production for that shit. There's so much stuff that went on with that album.
Oh yeah.
And it was just an epic kind of thing when you get 5 heroin addicts tons of money. See what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
and I saw their very last gig opening for the Rolling Stones at LA Coliseum, and I know them as like whatever, and then have to slap, actually come up like, we're not gonna beat this every year again. It's like just because Adler's shooting up still. I'm like, no. But anyway,
Adler has a sad story. I mean, imagine hearing all the success that they've had after that. But they are something.
No, that album was amazing. I mean, it was just one of those things. It was good.
And they are still.
Oh no, and they're going around the world doing the same thing.
Absolutely. And I can see, when I was at the show, I was at the show at Aloha Tower or Aloha Stadium when they played here, and I was.
Hey Jesse.
Yeah, what's up, Jesse? What's up, guys? There was a moment at that show because, as we know, Axel, I still love Axel and all the dirt he never did nothing to me, but he's been a fucking asshole over the years and done a lot of shitty things. But there was a moment at that show, he didn't directly say sorry, but he mentioned something about how these guys have, we've reconnected and they've, I don't know how he worded it, but it was basically like full-blown, let go, these guys, I'm sorry kind of a thing, without saying sorry. But it was really cool to see, and he seems happy on stage, and Axl Rose hasn't seemed like a happy guy these days. He's not known to be a happy guy. But he is still killing it. People say he can't sing no more. He can fucking sing, I'll tell you that. He's not down-tuning nothing, so he can still reach it. He's legend.
And then I saw Richard Fortas, when he was in Love, Spit Love, which is the first album was amazing, with Richard Butler from Psychedelic Furs. I saw him in a small club in San Francisco, and I knew he was an amazing guitarist back then. I mean, the shit he did, like fireworks.
I used to play shows when Solution was starting in Hollywood before we came here. We were playing with a guy named Happening Harry. He was a promoter in. He did the Cat Club and the Joint in Hollywood. And we used to open for the Four Deuce, which was Billy Sheehan, Brian Young, and there was several guys that rotated in there. Dizzy Reed was one of them. And
Happening Harry. That's a throwback.
And so that was really cool, getting a part of that, getting into the live playing stuff. Musicians Institute was an amazing place for me, but
what years did you go?
2006 into 7. I was going to do a year and a half, but I ended up doing just over a year and pulling out because I wanted to go straight into the scene.
So Tavana went first?
Tavana and Mike Love and Ranfold and Keith, they all went first.
You have to learn about sound somehow.
And
then what happens?
All these guys knew their stuff before going there.
But you have to understand sound technically. That's why you guys are so good, because you have that understanding of that wave frequency.
It wasn't the Musicians Institute that is why we were so good. The reason I went back there, or went there, I moved there in 2001. I was going to go there, I couldn't bounce it. I worked for Rolls Royce in Beverly Hills for 6 years. Then when this girl I was with, it's just, whatever, how things work. I went back to my original plan. The guy from Rolls Royce said, "You ever lost, not known?" It's a customer. Great conversation, and changed my life. He said, "You're not knowing what you're going to do, dude. Just stop and think to yourself. Take some time and just say, what do you love? What do you love to do?" Music. The next day, I went back to Musicians Institute, and I signed up again, got a loan for myself to do this, lived in my car, and made it happen. And I just want to be submerged in music and musicians.
And then a lot of people live in their car. It's like I knew Maynard, he was living in a really bad Honda Civic.
It's too bad he should have got a Mustang.
Well, that's a good thing. But that's what you want to know especially when you're young, you can take those chances, and then chances. Sometimes they don't work out, sometimes they work out, but you can't regret that part.
No, you can't. And I'll tell you what, living in the car for 6 weeks was some of the best times of my life because I found myself again. You wouldn't recognize me. That guy. That was not. I pretty much stopped playing guitar for 6 years. I picked it up a handful of times over 6 months. For 6 years, I was like that. And I went back from playing that amount of times to 18 hours a day, and get in my car. And
us artists have to sacrifice sometimes, unfortunately.
It's okay.
And then it works out. We always come out to the end. We have to come out to the end. If you have the will to survive and work really hard at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, and we don't want that stupid pandemic kind of thing. And now everything. I mean, I always want to do this, and I'm doing that, this, and this, kind of thing. You know, last year was great because I started the podcast and I had a gallery show, and now I started a management company and I actually promoting the photographer, and he's like a legend. I told you about Charles. Where are you? And it's you know, someone who's greater than you that doesn't have the understanding of social media or how to market stuff. Now I get to pass that on. Like I love my dad. He passed. Whatever. I mean, he was. In a way, the hard part. Wait, this is great. The hard part when you lose your parents, you just can't call them all the time. Because I would call my mom every week. It's like, come on.
Yeah, but if you go to Burning Man, there's actually a phone in the desert that says, you know, call God or phone. Phone to God. Yeah. So just let you know.
I was Burning Man before anybody. Okay, so I'm working in Silicon Valley, and some of the engineers I knew actually started Burning Man back in 1990, whatever it was.
It was 80s.
Yeah.
It was a drum circle on the beach. They changed it.
Yeah. And I actually, my buddy Keith Nelson, I have 2 CDs of photographs from the early days. But anyway, it doesn't matter. And so, I'm doing what I want to do. I mean, I have to have a day job to support everything because nobody can afford me in this town.
Well, the thing is, what I was going to say earlier is that the thing that the really, really fucking shitty thing that came out of the pandemic is how much concerts are these days. Well, you know how much Depeche Mode tickets are? Yeah. And it's not, I don't think it's Depeche Mode that's making it's the balance of what they got to pay for the venue to everything about. But you're not even on the floor and you're paying $800. And $800?
Yeah, it's horrible.
So
I have a Depeche Mode story.
I'm gonna go see them. I will not miss it.
In 1994, I saw my Shoreline. My buddy gave us tickets, and it was probably the best concert because nobody's walking around. They're all watching him. And when I met Dave Gahan and Martin Gore, 1989 at the Cat House. They're little English guys, and then. So
Martin Gore is such an epic.
And what happens is Gahan stays back and does the Hollywood thing back in the early '90s, and then but we get those 2 great albums, and then to see him on stage at that time doing Stripped, which is like this amazing epic song. I mean, it's like, and it's like I'm getting it right now. So.
People are people, the way it's like pots and pans, kind of like a percussion, like industrial.
And then when you see them live, it's actually that one step further. I had great conversations with Martin Fletcher, Andy, those guys like that. It was incredible. It was like, and so it was good because they're way out of the metal thing, but I appreciated them for that step. And those 2 albums, Love Violator and Songs of Love Devotion, they're dark, but they're amazing.
Spirits is one of my favorites. It's just like there's some political, there's some addictive or addiction, like things within the lyrics. They're unbelievable.
And
the sounds.
And the thing is,
Martin Gore's tone.
Martin writes all the lyrics and Dave sings them. It's kind of like the Geddy Lee Neil Peart thing, where it was like. People saying so. No, but it's like, how do you write something for somebody and they own it?
Well, I mean, look at Elton John.
Yes, and I was going to say, Bernie and Elton.
I mean, their relationship is unbelievable.
Yes, exactly. They had that typewriter in the middle of the room where they would pass, but they wouldn't talk about it. Bernie writes some stuff and all that. It's crazy. Yeah. And then, so to hit on something like that, you and Tavana have that relationship. I mean, really seriously on that cerebral blood brother kind of thing.
Yeah, when Local Mojo started, 2012-ish, a little before that, we'd be playing every night in the scene. Till 4 in the morning, we'd figure it out. We'd just, we'd go here, we'd hop in the car, and you can talk about boom, boom. Ended up in Louie's house, dear Louie. And then we write more, play, sunrise coming up. All right, let's do this, couple hours sleep, let's do it again. And that creative process, Tavana is incredible the way he writes, the different approaches, his rhythms. I got better at rhythm playing with him. I'm good at rhythm, but he is unbelievable at his rhythms. And he told me the same. He got better with different lead, intricate things.
Yeah.
We both.
And then there's a great love between you two. The only thing I've seen better than that or close to that was Lemmy with Fast Eddie back in the early days of Motorhead. Lemmy would turn to Eddie like, that's his buddy, that's his buddy. And he'd like, and then Eddie's like, and then, but you want that relationship. Oh, I have one Rush story to tell you. So I saw Rush a lot of times, but I finally got the photograph from 1989 at Forum. And so I got 4 songs or 5 songs to shoot because the guy knew me. And so the middle of the third song, all of a sudden the band goes, and they turn on to Neil. Neil goes, dun, 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 and they're back on track. It's like,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I saw them at the Nokia Theater in LA. Rush is incredible. Their musicianship, everything. The vocals I can't listen to much. I know that's kind of the vibe along the way. They're nothing but incredible. I've got nothing to say bad about Rush. It's just, do you like blueberry cheesecake? Some people can do it. That's it. But some people like it, some people don't. So
But the musicianship, you're right, and the cool thing is when you listen to something and that projects you to that certain, it takes you out of your mundane and puts you someplace else. Yeah. Pirates of Rock and Roll is like that. You know, based on True Bitches like that. And then how did you come up with a line? And you got to track down that song on YouTube.
No, based on the True Bitches. It's on YouTube or Spotify, whatever.
And then what happens is, it's like this girl at flight at a bar, and she wants to order a drink or
well, no, the thing is, I wrote that at like 3 in the morning. With all the shows that we played, there's so many freaking shows along the way. This type of girl isn't at every show, but they're out there. And there's the guy that's the same type of bitch. Yeah. But it's not about one girl. It's about a type of individual that we see a lot from the stage. And it's about the type of girl that goes out just to screw guys over. Yeah. Just to see if he goes to the bathroom, leaves his wallet there, she's taking his money, or she's just like, I don't have any money, even though she has $1,000 in her pocket. Yeah. She's still, give me. And it's just to screw guys over. So the whole twist on the story, even though I say Michelle Pam Candy, Michelle Pam Candy, she say that her name is. It's not anything to do with those names. Yeah. You never know who it's going to be. Yeah. Yeah. And the whole twist at the end, where it's just like, she tries to get drinks from me. Yeah. And I order those drinks, then slam them down, put it on the table, throw the bill in her face, pay up, bitch, this ain't no place. That's the twist of it, where it's like, all right. And, it's
Love you, man.
See you.
It's always good. And this is how would I put it? We saw the Struts.
Yeah, that was a good show.
It was a great show.
Picked you up from my hearse.
Yeah, of course. He was an hour late. We get to
Right on time.
Right on time. We get to Complete Boulevard, and he has to relieve himself. Because when I was his age, that was normal for me. That you wouldn't, take a leak over here, no problem, whatever, like that. And then, because I had kids, and then you have to like.
Always enjoy the respectful.
Yeah, but you have to, you have kids, and whatever you do, those influence on them. So I kind of like not watch, but I didn't do a lot of things. And then if we were 25 together, we wouldn't survive. Or we'd be fucking.
I would have. Speak for yourself, buddy.
Because I did stuff and you did stuff. And it was like crazy.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, there you went to one right there. But it was like, and I remember being 21 and going to concerts, and I thought, okay, and I kind of knew about this point, and I bought a life insurance policy and stuff for my mom. And then, because I knew I was going to live past, 24, 25, because they're just going. I mean, all of a sudden you're flying here, flying there, doing this, doing that. And I didn't do drugs. I drank a little bit, but that's it. And then I'm 28 going like, well, that's nice.
And here you are, 65.
62. That's good, though.
Thank you.
And that's the whole thing about it, because, rock and roll does keep you a certain place. It's all about music, it's all about the vibe. And then there's people, I don't want to call you the rock and roll preacher, but you're like rock and roll disciple kind of thing. I mean, I like that. I like that. You live, you talk, you walk the walk, you breathe it. There's nothing fake about you. There's nothing fake about this guy ever.
Thank you, brother.
I mean, he had a hearse.
Yeah, I love my hearse. Yeah. I like hearse. Yeah, I have the coffin in the back. I put all my equipment in it, wheel it into the shows. It's and I had, I've been. There was a Filipino lady in Kalihi that I drove past.
Yeah.
And as I drove past her, she spit at my car. And that's just one of the situations. Because, different cultures, you don't know. Yeah. They feel that that's the person who took away their family member. No. And you gotta put yourself in their place. They don't understand. They're not open to understanding that. And so that came, a lot came with that car. Yeah. But the pranks that I was able to pull in that car, unbelievable.
Imagine if I called Hollywood. Driving at a gig right in front of, that's like classic Spinal Tap kind of thing.
Oh, it's epic. It's the best bandwagon I ever bought. And what drew me to that was
no one's gonna fuck with you too, that's for sure.
No, I didn't get towed. It was the only car out of didn't get towed, but then they caught on to me. I got towed a couple times. But, I feel like I'm in a movie every time I get in. And it's
you're in a movie anyway.
Beautiful, yeah, that's right.
The Life and Times.
That's right. That's right. And, I'm gonna write a book one day. It's called The Life of a Note.
If you need photographs, I'll give you the middle pillow.
Absolutely.
Because Lord knows I've been everywhere in projects.
Yeah.
It's always a Metallica thing with my name on it. Yeah.
And there's a few things that we'll be doing here, recording. I'm going to see if I have the time to shoot this music video for my song, Music Fuels My Soul. Yeah. I want to shoot it at Pele's Chair in Sandy Beach.
Oh, yeah.
I've had the vision of it for years.
Scenic Pele's Chair. Yeah. Still wanted to go.
It's amazing. It really is the journey of the battle. It's a preparation of the battle that every year you're going through, and music does fuel my soul, and I'm able to. It's also medicine, and I love to share it with you guys and everybody else. And it's not just a thing to do to make a lot of money or be popular with people. It really is very healing, and I encourage each and every one of you. If you're having a rough day, just take a step to the side, breathe, and think about one of your favorite songs. Don't listen to an old country song to make you down again, or whatever it is. Yeah. Whatever your poison is, it's medicine. Take some time yourself, put on a badass song, and it'll change your life. Guaranteed.
And with that, thank you, man.
Thank you, brother. This Thursday.
So,
HB Social Club, Hawaiian Brian's, Slack Key, and that's the 20th, and I'll be playing with Elena and Joe. And the following Friday, which is the 28th, same place, Hawaiian Brian's Social Club at Slack Key in Havana, local Mojo, and 2 totally different shows. I hope you can make it. Love you guys. Love this guy.
And so, from Proof Social Club on the other side of Chinatown, aloha, guys.
Thank you. See you soon.